Congresswoman Greene, let's skip the pleasantries. They were never your thing anyway, so you've suddenly discovered that Donald Trump, the man you treated like a messiah, is not loyal, and that the MAGA movement is not safe, not sane, and certainly not rooted in anything constitutional. And you're shocked that he's attacking you, endangering you, calling you a traitor, as if you didn't know he had it in him. Puh-lease. You helped create this monster. You fed it, you protected it, you celebrated it. And now that it's finally turning on you, you want sympathy, understanding, a moment of national concern. No, absolutely not. Nope, you don't get to unleash political poison into the bloodstream of American politics and then act surprised when it reaches your own veins. You don't get to cheer on Trump while he smears, threatens, and dehumanizes everyone in his way, and then clutch your fake pearls when he finally does it to you. You don't get to empower a movement built on conspiracy, cruelty, and violence, and then cry foul when you become its latest target. Let's be honest. You calling for the release of the Epstein files isn't courage, it's fear. You don't suddenly care about truth or justice, and you definitely don't care about the victims. You're calling for the release of the files because you're afraid of what unchecked power looks like, when it's no longer aimed at your enemies. The Epstein case is a perfect cultural lightning rod, and your supporters love that. You saw the polls and reacted accordingly. Jump off the sinking MAGA ship, am I right, MTG? Now you're talking about accountability and transparency. Haha, where was that energy on January 6th? Where was your outrage when Trump incited a mob to storm the Capitol? When they hunted Democratic lawmakers through hallways? When they called for the hanging of the vice president? When police officers were beaten, crushed, and traumatized doing their jobs? Where was your moral clarity then, MTG? Where was your voice when Democratic governors were receiving kidnapping threats? When election workers were doxxed and terrorized? When a man broke into Nancy Pelosi's home with a hammer and nearly killed her husband? When threats against Democrats, judges, school boards, and public servants skyrocketed? You said nothing. You chased a Parkland school shooting survivor, David Hogg, down a Washington sidewalk, taunting him and calling him a coward. You screamed through President Biden's State of the Union address like you were the most unprofessional person to ever be elected into office. You voted against the Frederick Douglass Human Trafficking Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act, one of only 20 members of Congress to oppose a bipartisan bill designed to help trafficking victims. You amplified QAnon conspiracies. You suggested school shootings were staged. And while Democrats were being targeted when a militia plotted to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and when Governor Josh Shapiro's home was set on fire in an arson attack with his family inside, you offered no outrage, no sympathy, no defense of democracy. I could go on. I think you get the picture, Congresswoman. I'm not buying it. If you want redemption, if you want to step into the light, there is only one door: public, unequivocal accountability. Not the performative kind with hair and makeup. Not the Trump hurt my feelings kind. Not the victimhood you've perfected. Real accountability means going fully public with everything you know, every lie, every scheme, every threat, every abuse of power you witnessed, tolerated, or assisted. If you want redemption, start with the truth. All of it. Until then, this isn't a moral awakening. It's simply the consequences of your own choices arriving right on schedule.